From Chicago Network Television News, this is Urban Street with Ty Wansley, Richard Steele, and the Urban Street News team. On this edition, Hollywood rallies for Carol Moseley Braun.
What we're trying to do now as field workers, because I would consider myself a field worker, and it doesn't really make any difference who gets in office if the field workers are not going to do their job to support them. So what we try to do now is to get all the field workers, because those are the masses, to understand that in order to have leadership, they have to support that leadership. Carolyn Braun is the woman who's going to the Senate for us, not for herself.
Plus, a special tribute to one of the founders of the Temptations, Eddie Kendrick.
When the Temptations came into dominance, Eddie was a definite part of the background harmony, but then his falsetto, record by record, just seemed to take on an added significance, and he really did give the falsetto voicings with the Temptations a lot of class and a lot of expression.
Reporting from downtown Chicago, here's Ty Wansley.
Welcome to Urban Street. You know, just like the old saying goes, times change and people change. Now, my television home has not changed. I'm still stepping lively with you every week here on Urban Street. But after several successful years as a talk show host at WVON, I've now upgraded my radio address. I've moved to the home of the most recognizable call letters in Chicago radio history, WLS Talk Radio, 890 AM and 94.7 FM. And a little bit later, we'll introduce you to the movers and shakers here at WLS, and they'll give you a tour of this fantastic broadcast facility. But up first, Hollywood came to Chicago for a star-studded salute to Democratic senatorial candidate Carol Moseley Braun. Correspondent Richard Steele is on the campaign trail, and he has a behind-the-scenes look at the big political rally.
The stars were definitely shining as a dazzling array of entertainment and political movers and shakers converged on downtown Chicago to show their support for senatorial contender Carol Moseley Braun.
See, for me, it's not just a matter of a woman. I mean, any woman winning a position in office is not as important as the right woman being in office. You understand what I'm saying? What the person represents, whether it's male or female, is, you know, the message is more important than the messenger. And that she is a woman makes it doubly as important. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And I think it can't just be any woman. It has to be the right woman, and she is the right woman.
What things are you looking for in a candidate that is the right woman?
Oh my gosh, there's a number of things. There's so many things that are missing today. The politics in the United States right now are frightening for me. You know, coming up all the way up to, from the Senate all the way up to the presidential elections. It's a very frightening thing. I think as I get older, how old am I? Yes, uh-oh. At 18 years old, though. As I get older and as I'm a mother, many more things concern me. But I think some of the biggest things, the racism is a huge issue, the economics are a huge issue, but most of it is down home. It's right here, and it's beginning in small communities all the way reaching out. And this is something that Carol talks about, and that's important. It's real important.
You give me the strength. You hold me up. You give me the ability, the words and the ideas, and you push me forward. And that makes all the difference in the world. Because if it were just me by myself, quite frankly, there are days when I don't know if the strength would be there to do it. But because of you, the strength is there. And we are going out to give our message to the people of this state, and indeed for this country. And that message is one of hope. That message is one of restoring the very foundations of this country, which is opportunity for everybody. That every individual will have an opportunity to contribute to this society to the maximum extent of his or her ability. And every person will have a chance. Every child will have a chance for an education.
Howard, why was it important for you to be here and support Carol Moseley Braun? This is a political thing, not an entertainment thing.
It's a political thing, but you know, it's a very necessary thing, because I think that we definitely have to take our steps in order to help change this government, man. Because we're in the midst of a government, I think, that has literally turned its back on its people, and I think it's up to the people to reinstate and to put together another government that will be for the people. it's also necessary for us as a people to get our people in there, and to get our people in there that have an idea of what we're about and what's necessary in our communities and the whole thing. I think that's why it was necessary. Also, it was necessary for me to come here because this was my mother's last instructions to me. We buried my mother yesterday, and she told me that she was a very tireless fighter for civil rights throughout her whole life. And she told me, I didn't know whether I should commit myself because she was, in the hospital at the time. But she told me from her hospital bed, she said, go there because this is very necessary and it's very, very important.
This historic candidate told Urban Street the power of the people will be heard loud and clear on November 3rd.
A gathering of a multicultural community from all over Illinois. We have all kinds of people coming together. The imam's support was very important to me. The support of the Muslim community. But of course, actually, this is a very integrated group. This is everybody. This is Muslim and Jewish and white, black, Asian, large Asian contingent, both Palestinian, Filipino, Chinese, Japanese. I'm probably leaving somebody out, but it's just a polygon here. This is our society in the sense that it's everybody, and I feel very proud to be a standard bearer for bringing people together.
Ernest, in the context of today's politics, how do you think Malcolm would have viewed the whole concept of this election with a woman running and a great possibility of winning?
Oh man, I truly believe that he's smiling upon us now to see a sister like Carol Moseley Braun especially defeat the old machine and to even tackle, as she said, the radical right wing of President Bush. That the women have become stronger, but not only that, she represents women, African Americans, and those who are left out. So she's really given us an example of the politics of inclusion can't happen, and Malcolm would be ecstatic.
Marla Gibbs, is this the year of the woman? It's been said by so many people that 1992 is the year of the woman, and Carol Moseley Braun seems to be making a statement in that area.
It's always been the year of the woman. You guys just have never known it. But Carol and Braun is bringing it out into the forefront. We are the mothers of the world, so it has to always be the year of the woman. What we're trying to do now as field workers, because I always consider myself a field worker, and it doesn't really make any difference who gets in office if the field workers are not going to do their job to support them. So what we try to do now is to get all the field workers, because those are the masses, to understand that in order to have leadership, they have to support that leadership. Carolyn Braun is the woman who's going to the Senate for us, not for herself. She's going to represent not only us as black people, but for all people. And not only women, but for men also, because together we have to stand. It takes both of us to make a baby, and it's going to take both of us working together to make this country what it's supposed to be.
I fought in all the wars. Yes, it's true. We were heroes too. It's documented history, so you know that it's true. Took this country to a new level, taught you things you never